Michael Rostovtsev, a Russian historian during the 19th and 20th century, says that we must learn, and we are gradually learning, how to write history with the help of archaeology. The case of the Chinese terracotta warriors is one fascinating example that shows what historical knowledge archaeology can uncover. The terracotta warriors are life-size clay figurines inside the intrinsic tunnel system leading to the tomb of the first Chinese emperor, Qin Shi Huang, in order to protect his body and soul in the afterlife. The first pieces of the terracotta warriors were found by accident in 1974 when some farmers were digging for water. These farmers told archaeologist Zhao Kongming what they found, and the excavation began later the same year. Since then, there have been many other excavations, the most recent beginning in 2015. The archaeologist noted that each figurine was distinctly different. The bodies were mass-produced, but each head was sculpted with unique characteristics, even down to the details of their ears. The original burial site where these warriors were found is in the Lingtong district, Shaanxi province of China. To give public access to the warriors, there have been small traveling exhibitions in museums in Melbourne, Milan, tons of U.S. cities, and many other locations around the world.
This archaeological find is significant because it gives insight into what China may have been like when Qin Shi Huang was in power. Like other civilizations of the past and present, such as the burial sites of ancient Egyptian pharaohs, we see a desire to be honored in death. It also suggests a belief in an afterlife, as the emperor was buried with valuable goods as well as an army to protect him. In rooms surrounding the emperor's central tomb, there are terracotta acrobats, musicians, and dancers, as well as government officials. Duan Qigbo, who is the head of the excavation team at the Shaanxi Provincial Research Institute for Archaeology, said about these figures, "We find the underground pits are an imitation of the real organization of the Qin dynasty. People thought when the emperor died he just took a lot of pottery army soldiers with him. Now they realize he took a whole political system with him." Another aspect of society which the terracotta warriors shed light on is the fact that China had a sophisticated manufacturing system which allowed for the mass production of these statues and would have contributed greatly to the success of Chinese society and economy. The following study reveals how ink marks and inscriptions on the weapons once held by the warriors gives us valuable information regarding Chinese technology and manufacturing infrastructure.
The researchers decided to study the crossbows in an unearthed section of the tomb. They used multispectral imaging and digital microscopy to closely examine the bronze pieces that made up the crossbow's trigger mechanisms. This technology, which uses different types of light, cameras, and magnification, allowed them to see details which the human eye could not detect. Using these methods, the researchers discovered the residue of ink markings and signs of etched symbols. Matching markings were painted or etched on the areas of the different pieces of the trigger mechanisms that were intended to be fitted together, telling workers how to assemble the pieces. Other symbols indicated what workshop the pieces were made in and that they had passed quality control.
This archaeological study is important because it reveals the intricate complexities of the technology and society in China during the construction of the terracotta warriors. For example, the presence of both ink and inscribed markings tells us that there were multiple steps in the manufacturing process. The variation in marking type also indicates there were multiple manufacturers and locations involved in the weapons production. One of the central manufacturing workshops was likely in Segong, due to the frequency of a symbol called gong in some parts of the terracotta warriors' chambers. This study is just one example of what archaeology can do and how it utilizes multidisciplinary research methods to uncover information which greatly enhances our knowledge of the past.
Though archaeology is able to find out a lot about the past, the field is affected greatly by media and ethics. Emperor Qin's tomb and the warriors have frequently appeared in the media, especially in sci-fi and fantasy genres. The idea that the figures used to be real people is a popular one. In the movie The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, the Terracotta Army was made up of real people who were cursed by a witch along with their emperor. There they wait to be resurrected by the artifact the main characters are chasing. The film A Terracotta Warrior depicts the army as having been people who were made into statues through alchemy. The mystique of the Terracotta Army and the Emperor's tomb continues to capture the public's imagination, which is good publicity, but it can also foster false beliefs about the site. Fascination in the tomb has also inspired legends and conspiracy theories, one of which is that the first emperor's body lays amidst flowing rivers of mercury, carved to mimic the Yellow and Yangtze rivers. Scientists have found the soil above the main burial chamber contains high concentrations of mercury, but the Mercury River theory cannot be proven because the main tomb will have to remain undisturbed for the time being. There is too big a risk of damaging the artifacts inside and the ethical concern of disturbing the emperor's remains.
Through this case study of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's terracotta warriors, we are able to see the depth of information that archaeological research can reveal, such as the insight into Chinese manufacturing, as well as some of the challenges the field faces.